Oh, so here it is. Oh my gosh. It has happened. It's weird for me to do this without music. I can't hear the music. I can hear myself in here, but everybody else can hear the music. Let me know if it's too loud too, because I can't tell if it's too loud or not. But there it is. There it is. I'm eating my crow. I'm eating my crow. The thing is I have to, when we lose like this, you know, guys like Trolsky and John Dorn are in here. They get to have their day. This is the day. This is the overreaction Monday, and I have to give it to them. You know, the villain is your unapologetic voice of vengeance of the 313. But the thing is, see, John Dorn, there he is, out of the woodworks. It's funny that they can come out of the woodworks, though. They get this. Lions will be lucky to win 9 games. Lions called Fool's Gold Lions for a reason. John Dorn also says Hutchinson will never be the same. And Broski last year, he had said this, and here he's saying it again. Like I've been saying, the Lions are much weaker in the trenches, and the Lions CB room is overrated. Lions fans turned arrogant. Brad Holmes turned arrogant. Lions players turned arrogant. Yeah, well, I don't agree with that. I mean, I think I remember Dan Campbell this week saying how much he respected Lambeau Field and how much of a sacred place that it is. And I think it was the Packer fans that were being arrogant, and they justified their arrogance. They punked the Detroit Lions on game 1, 27-13. Hutchinson will never be the same. Broski Bear says Sewell was owned yesterday. Decker and Glasgow looked bad. Mahogany was on his back half of the game. Ratledge looked lost. Yep. They call this Russell. Got to eat crow overhyping his players. John, everybody overhypes their players. I'm eating the crow. I'm here. I'm eating the crow. And by the way, it is one game, guys. It is one game. And the funny thing is about this, when I'm seeing John Dorn in here, and now Steve is in here, I'm sure we could get some more Packer fans in here. But do you notice that they were in witness protection earlier? But now that they've won the game, now they're coming out and chirping. I've been here the whole time. And you guys are just now starting to come out. And welcome out, because the villain is the stand-up person that he is. When I lose, I stand up here and I take these shots. So, congratulations on your first victory in 4 years in your own home spot. And I'm giving you your due, which is more respect than you gave me. This is more respect than you gave me when we won those games. But that's okay. That's okay. We just operate a little bit differently, and that's fine. That's fine. But we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of this game. So let's talk about this game. I got my handy dandy PFF thing over here. Let me get this up. With the team scat. The Packers dominated this game in the trenches. As a matter of fact, I want to do something for you that I don't normally do. And let me see if I can find my notes right here. This may sum it up. I hope that you guys will be able to hear this. It might sound like shit, but I gotta do it. special song to kind of sum up how I feel. In the trenches, holding strong, we had a lion all day long. Snap that ball, he cleared the way. Frank the Tank owned every play. I miss you, Frank the Tank. Holding that there line and never sank. Blue collar, all pro rank. Miss you, Frank the Tank. Now I miss you even more, 'cause Glasgow is an open door. And here we are in the here and now, and the villain, I miss you, Frank Ragnow. There you go. I hope that sums it up for you. I hope that you could hear that. I don't know. That sums it up right there. We miss you, Frank the Tank. We miss you opening up giant holes right there. I can't even defend that, broski. I mean, I always get the criticism for overhyping the players, but I just tell it like it is. When your team's 15-2, it's going to come off like you're overhyping your players because they were playing well. But when they play like they played yesterday, I'm real about it. What am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to defend that Glasgow was an open door? You want to break me down, broski? Is that what you want to do? You want to break me down? Okay. You want me to say it? I miss Frank Ragnow. I miss Frank. I miss Frank the Tank moving people out of the way. Hell, that makes me even be scared to go 0-2. I don't want Ben Johnson to beat us. Yeah, that didn't give me a good feeling in the middle. Those young defensive linemen, they got mauled. So what is the silver lining when it comes to all this stuff right here? Let's look at the box score right here. Jordan Love was 18 for 22 for $188, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, incredibly efficient. Like they were very good on third down. And I wanted to talk about that. Because there is a silver lining within this, because when you look at the recap of the game on how it lined up, they couldn't get off the field. Because Jordan Love was dropping dimes right in the middle of the defense. So I don't know if I'm as concerned about the personnel more than I am that, like, Kelvin Shepard's defense, like, it was portrayed during the training camp like it was going to be this aggressive, we're going to go and try to kick the quarterback's ass, the aggressiveness. But I saw, like, Aiden Hutchinson and Davenport dropping back into coverage and stuff like that. And I was just like, well, that's not what was sold to me. That's not what they were talking. They were talking about how they wanted to be super aggressive, sending linebacker blitzes and safety blitzes and just trying to get after the quarterback by overpowering. I didn't see that. I saw some slickery dickory dude trying to drop your defensive ends into coverage. That needs to be rethought. And broski, you get this, man. Right there. Oh, the Lions starting 0-3. That's the thing, is if you go in and you lose to Ben Johnson in your home opener and you don't get this fixed, you lose to Ben Johnson, and then you got to go play the Ravens. Broski's not trolling at this point. This is where it's like, you're trolling during the off season when we don't know anything. But we have information now. The learning curve is real. The fantasy land that the villain was living in, that it's going to just be like a nice, smooth transition. I'm not giving up on either one of the coordinators. Because when you really look at, when you look at this game, Goff 31 for 39, 225 yards. They were throwing the ball a lot to the running backs. Now, that doesn't mean they don't want to push the ball downfield. This is where you got to give Green Bay credit. Their style of defense, when they do that cover 2 type of stuff, they keep people in front of them. That's the way that they've always played. It's hard to get deep plays and, those long over the middle stuff that you're used to seeing with Jameson Williams and the 20-yard routes. The Green Bay's defense, Halfley's defense, is designed to really take that away from everybody. And they give up a lot of passes to running backs. Like teams that have success against the Packers pass a lot to their running backs. And the Lions try to do that. 31 of 39, but Green Bay just has to get credit for tackling well out in the perimeter. You get the ball out there, you got to have good tackling secondary. Those safeties stepped up and played well. I'm not going to sugarcoat the stuff. It happened. They played well. They tackled out on the perimeter with that. But, and defensively, Jordan Love was just really, really good on third down. He completed some very nice passes on third and long situations. If you take any silver lining from anything that the Lions did, they had a pretty good rush defense. They really limited Josh Jacobs in the game, and they put Green Bay into the situations that they wanted them to be in on third down. Jordan Love just made the plays. So when you're cleaning up something, that's why Dan Campbell had said, it's looks worse than it is. It's like you get off the field a couple times on those third downs, and you can change the trajectory of the whole game. But they executed in those big moments. I'd have to look at that for the team stats. I bet you Green Bay was just really, really good on third down. Time of possession, Green Bay. I'm going to move this over here so it doesn't look like I'm like staring off into space. All right. Time of possession. Well, the Lions had the ball a lot more. That's because they turned the ball over when they got down the red zone. That was huge, too. Offensive plays. Where's the stuff that matters here? Only 3.8 yards per play. That's a big stat right there. That proves to you that Green Bay was tackling. They were tackling. So they deserve credit for that. Yeah, you guys lost your people. We were talking about this right here, Steve. You lost guys, but you had young guys that were stepping in. And the same thing with the Lions on the offensive line. We lost guys, but we had the guys to step in. I told you that in the preview, that I thought that it was going to come down to in the middle. And your in the middle unknowns play better than our in the middle unknowns. And no, Zadarius Smith wouldn't have helped this out, John. You think you crazy? You think Zadarius Smith would have helped this? You guys got the pressure in the middle, guys. Give credit to your right guys. The Devontae Wyatts in the middle. Those are the guys that deserve the credit. The Micah Parsons and Sewell deal, that was exactly like I thought it would be. It's a good matchup. Parsons definitely got him on a couple of them, but that definitely wasn't Sewell's best game. But that's going to be a good matchup for the rest of eternity. These guys are going to be battling it out. That, to me, is a wash. You guys got us in the middle. Yeah, the Central Scrutinizer hits that. If you guys are going to rip on me, at least hit the like button. The trolls get their day in here, man. I'm not even going to fight back, you guys. They got pressure everywhere. But I am gonna guide your energy into the way that I saw the game. The whole offensive line didn't play well, but it was the middle was definitely the worst part of it. What'd you think of my song? Did you guys even hear my song? I didn't hear anybody. I didn't even see a comment in here on that. Gosh. Dropping Hutchinson into coverage. Nobody even said anything about my song. Maybe you couldn't even hear it. I think that in the Detroit area we could get a petition and see if we can't get Frank Ragnow. I know there is zero chance of that, guys. That's not going to happen. So, John's going to give me a grade of a 6 out of 11. Thanks, John. That's actually better than I would expect out of you. But I'm trying to deal with it. But I'll tell you what. Yeah, sometimes games can get decided on a couple of different plays right there, and the Lions driving all the way down and then throwing the interception and not getting any points on that drive. That was a huge play, and that deserves, that's good defense right there. He undercut that route. Amon-Ra was open. He threw the ball to the right spot. That was just a good play that was made on Jared Goff's throw. I don't think Jared Goff was really awful in the game for having that much pressure on him. He was incredibly efficient. And I know that he was just throwing the dink and dunk stuff, but that's what Green Bay was giving. That's what Green Bay was giving. And that's really, honestly, that should be the advantage. We should be in an advantage situation. They're throwing the ball and getting it to the running backs on the perimeter, getting the short stuff. Normally, when Montgomery and Gibbs get the ball out there, the blocking's good out on the perimeter, and they take those short plays and make something out of it. Green Bay deserves credit for tackling. The turnover was huge. In the passing yards, there just wasn't a lot of passing yards in the game. Both quarterbacks were really efficient. It came down to third down efficiency. They, especially on that first drive. Green Bay really set the tone on that first drive. Because when you look through the recap and the play-by-plays, This is the time when my computer's all freezing up on me. No, but when you're watching that first drive, it's like they got good stops. They got good stops on Josh Jacobs. They were able to stuff the run. They were able to force Green Bay into third in long situations, even behind the sticks. And Jordan Love was able to make a play. They were able to find a wide receiver in our soft zone that had defensive ends covering in it. I think someone just needs to go and send Kelvin Shepherd a memo and just remind him that Hutchinson's a defensive end and he should be attacking. You should be attacking with your best weapon. That's what Green Bay did. When Micah Parsons came out there, they didn't send him out into pass coverage. They had him try to go wreck the matchup. Hutch should have been able to match up well against that offensive line. But they wanted to drop him back into coverage. Come on, Meow. I mean, come on. Man, giving up on these players so fast. You can tell that Lion fan isn't like conditioned for a long season. Like it's a loss, guys. It's a bad loss. I'm not gonna deny that it's a bad loss, but it's like, Lion fan, if I can help you with anything at all, it's like, stop jumping off the boat every game that they lose. I mean, last year the Lions lost 2 games, and you would have thought that Rome was burning in the middle of that run. It's like, you have some poise as a fan. It's embarrassing. Got a bunch of Packer fans in here trolling, man. I need your help. I don't need you to jump on their side. Have some wherewithal. The Lions haven't lost 2 games in a row in like 3 years. They have a knack for our best players bouncing back. Terrion Arnold is not a bust because he had a bad game. Like I said, you watch that game. The Lions took them to third down on almost. They got to work on their third down defense. That's why Dan Campbell said, it looked worse than it is, because it looks like it's like one single idea on defense that they need to get better at. I'm not going to give up on Kelvin Shepherd. I can question Kelvin Shepherd without giving up on him. I can question, why do you drop your defensive ends into coverage under any situation? I mean, is that like a slick thing? Do you think you're fooling anybody? I mean, Jordan Love just dropped back the pass, and he's like, oh, your defensive end's in coverage. Well, I'll just throw it over his head. Oh, to the wide open guy, because a defensive end doesn't cover receivers or tight ends. So it is. So, and I mean, you can say these things, broski. You can say those things, but like I said, you can isolate those plays down to third down. You can work on your third down defense. I mean, you can correct those things. I'm not concerned about any of the players. I think that you look at it on defense, and like schematically, I think that you just got to realize who your players are. So, and that could be it. I mean, maybe Shepherd is in. Maybe I gauged Shepherd way wrong. I thought he could take these guys and be able to turn them into a dominant defense. Now I'm just wanting him to right the ship a little bit here, we had all these high hopes. I mean, you sold us this part. You know, I'm looking at these players, and the Lions were able to go 15-2 with players that aren't as good as these players. I mean, I'm not a rocket scientist or anything right here, but to me, that points to coaching. That is the coaching. That is what you call a learning curve. Dan Campbell brought up, the fact that when Ben Johnson became our offensive coordinator, that the Lions started 1-6 that year. The Lions started 1-6 the year Ben Johnson, and I was on this very show. It was called something different at that time, but during my Overreaction Monday show, they were wanting Ben Johnson fired as an offensive coordinator after starting 1-6. So I certainly hope we don't start 1-6. We got the 8 and 9s in here. Think it's going to be that good? So, but it's Overreaction Monday. All of the overreactions are in there. Fire Dan Campbell. It's over. There's no way. They've never lost a game before. The Lions have not lost 2 straight games since 2022. Since that streak of 1-6. Since they started 1-6 in 2022. They have not lost 2 in a row. The Lions were not good on third down, and you can isolate it back to that. And they turned the ball over in the red zone. That's the story. That's the story. Other than that, it was a heavyweight championship fight. Green Bay deserves the credit. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to eat the crow. I'm here to eat that crow. The Lions didn't show up. They let us down. And the strong fans know what it's about. The strong fans that are out there, they're still out there. The ones that understand that this is a 17-round fight here. Round 1, you definitely lost round 1. Round 2's next Sunday, Ford Field, against the Bears and Benedict Johnson. So, don't be a soft fan. Don't start blaming, pointing fingers. These guys have taken us on a ride. I still believe in the coaching. It's like you don't think that you could go to Green Bay for the first time. There's a lot of things that were in there. How hard would it be to go to Green Bay for your first game? Like Mahogany, Ratledge. I mean, I wonder what it was like from their points of view to go into Lambeau Field. Probably, especially under those circumstances, that's probably the most hostile environment that those players have ever been a part of. Mahogany played in a couple games last year, but they were home games. That's when the crowd's being nice to you, when you can't hear the calls. So there probably was some of that going on. I mean, I don't know. I don't play offensive line, but there was a couple of times where there were like free rushers, and I don't know if, what one of the linemen was supposed to zig and then they zagged and left the free. I mean, they almost gave up that safety, letting the free rusher going in there. So the fans at Lambeau deserve a little bit of credit in that too. That had to be a hostile environment because they couldn't get anything organized going on offense. I definitely want to be able to see it in a non-hostile environment, when they get into Ford Field, because that it just didn't look good, especially in the middle. I mean, my biggest concern, it wasn't coaching going into it. It would be the loss of the players. The players make the plays, and that's why I'm disappointed with the defense, because the players were there. Marcus Davenport made it through a game, guys. Marcus Davenport made it through a game. He's not on the injury report, but I guess it didn't matter because he didn't play good. Hutchinson didn't play good. But they have a good foundation to turn it around. And what's the good foundation of a good defense? Is you got to be able to stop the run. They were able to stop the run yesterday. They lost that game. Green Bay brought it. They brought the physicality. They were more physical. They wanted it more. It's a gut check. But they didn't do it with Josh Jacobs. All of the best defenses in the league, it starts and ends with stopping the run. That's it. Now, they got to work on their third down defense. And that's where Green Bay got all their stuff. They got guys out into the soft zones, and Jordan Love made good passes. On third down. That's right. I mean, really, if you isolated Jordan Love's where they made all their plays, all of the biggest plays were on third down. And that's good. That's good for them. But it's not something that you overreact when you can pinpoint a problem. That's why Dan Campbell said that it looked worse than it is. Because the problems are very, very, very fixable. So what do you think about that? Your panic level. That's something that I asked a little bit earlier. What is your panic level on a scale of 1 to 11 as a Lion fan for what the entire season is going to turn out? From a scale of 1 to 11, what is your panic level? My panic level is still low. I'm at like a 3 right now. Now, you lose to the Bears, you'll probably see it jump up 4. My panic level is going to jump up from a 3 to a 7 if you lose to the Bears. And this little beatdown definitely made me put my chest back a little bit. I'm not going to pump my chest out. I thought that this team could come out dominant. With the players that we had, I thought we could come out dominant. But they didn't. So I'm not going to pump my chest out there anymore like that. I'm going to be confident in the team. Like I said, I'm at a 3. going from a 1 to a 3, taking a bad loss, going on the road, losing to a really, really good Green Bay team that I underestimated. Green Bay, to me, solidified themselves as the contender with their young players that are budding into superstars. But I'm not. You don't. I mean, if you want to, if you're at a high panic level, I mean, go in there. There's a couple 7s in there. Brian says 7. Rick says 0. Okay, Rick has no panic level. Mark's where I'm at 3. Adam's at 3. So it's like, but you can isolate that. In rewatching the game, that was the thing. It's one of the most frustrating things on defense when you can't get off the field. But that's why it's not anything to overreact over. I don't think. Very, very correctable stuff. I mean, to say that cornerbacks are awful or anything like that, Green Bay didn't do anything that impressive with that. I mean, you're looking at the stat line in there. He was efficient. $188. They were very, very efficient. They had a couple of really, really nice drives that were extended. You go to first down, second down, they extend the drive. First down, second down, extend the drive. And those are, they take a lot out of you. But that is something that you work on. That's something that you can definitely work on. A specific part. It's not like, I don't know. I didn't see on defense. I didn't see a whole bunch of people just like in the wrong spots or anything like that. It looked more like Green Bay just made plays when they needed to make plays, and they were more ready in this particular game. And sometimes you need to get punched in the mouth, But Jordan Love, 16 for 22, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, you were an inch away from that disaster. I mean, Brian Branch returning that TD that didn't count back for a touchdown. Like, a lot of these games are closer than what the scores think. When they really say it's like a play here or a play there, it really is. It really is just like a play here or play there. I mean, you look at that play and then Goff driving the team all the way down and then throwing an interception. On a otherwise really efficient day. Those 2 plays would probably decide the entire game, really, when you think about that. Goff throws an interception. You're taking at least 3 points off the board by not having that. You got a, illegal contact penalty that could be called or not be called. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about the call or anything like that, but you could have not called that, but that negates 7 points. A game-changing type of deal right there. I mean, Green Bay ended up scoring a touchdown on that. You take that touchdown away and give the Lions the touchdown, then there you are. You're sitting at tied. That's how close the game is. It's one play half the time. I'm talking about the Brian Branch interception that got taken off of the board due to an illegal contact. And I'm not going to bitch about the call. It was illegal contact. He did touch him going up. It was a little bit of a ticky-tack of a call, but I'm not a referee blamer. It is what it is. But that's a huge turn of events right there, where you're taking points off of the board and then putting points on the board for you. But, you know, you got to play better. You got to play more discipline. You can't grab guys. I mean, I could sit up here and tell you, they got screwed over by the refs. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't pull on the guy. You can't grab the guy. Rock Ya-Sin. I hate being that guy, too, especially when you're watching a game with other people. That's bullshit. They're out to get us. The referees are out to get us. No, they're not. Stop grabbing guys. You just cost us a touchdown. Be more disciplined. They could have not called that. Like, that's where you like want to sympathize with them, right? You cannot call that. It's okay. But they called it. They took it off. They took the point off. And sometimes that's the difference, you know? Game changing. Now, you know, like I said, there were some things that I liked about the defense. The defense was stuffing the run. Josh Jacobs is a good freaking running back to hold the 66 yards. I hate giving Green Bay credit, but I got to tell you that I got to give Green Bay more credit than I have to be freaked out about my own team. I mean, you guys can sit out there and you guys have every right. I'm not going to, you can troll in any way that you want, and I'm not going to stop you today. You've earned it. It's Overreaction Monday. All bets are off for tomorrow. Back to normal. But the trolls get their day. The trolls won. And notice that there's more trolls now. People come out of the woodworks, right? This is my most successful show of the year, right after a loss, because they come out like Gollum. They come out. And my viewership goes up because they enjoy watching me squirm. But no, I'm going to give Green Bay more credit than I'm going to be freaked out about what happened to the Lions. I mean, I saw a rookie in Tate Ratledge that got overwhelmed by a crazy Green Bay crowd. And you deserve credit for that, too, for providing an environment that was like that. But it's also a teaching moment, too. You know? You know, I can agree with part of this. The thing is like if you want to get paid like Kirby Joseph, yeah, I believe that, Steve. But I can also be honest. And Steve, can you be honest with me? If they did not call that illegal contact on Rock Ya-Sin and they called that a touchdown, and it changed the game into our favor, would you still be saying the same thing? You see, Steve, the talent is there. This is why I'm not freaked out. Because you have to admit it, because you were going through it in your mind when Brian Branch was running in for that touchdown. You were praying. You were down on your little Packer hands and knees, hoping that wasn't going to be a touchdown. And the football gods granted your wish. That would have changed the game, Steve, and you know it. So that's how close these games are. So before, I mean, you guys have earned your right to say all the criticisms. You can say the O-line, we're done, blah, 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 blah. It's done. You know, we're going to lose 9, 10, 11 games now. You guys can say all that. But you know in your little heart, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, sitting out there rubbing cheese all over yourself at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know that was the game-changing play. That was it. Like, you can look at that type of play right there, and the whole trajectory of the game would have changed at that point. And it's okay. Yeah, I'm not complaining about the call, you know? You look at it, I had to tell my friends at the Lions Den. I said, Gary, it's a penalty. You know, you just got to take it. It is the penalty. It didn't have to be called, though. But that's okay. It's okay. That's the thing. Broski, relax. Relax, broski. Gosh, I'm just spewing facts about how close games are. The fine line between making one mistake or not making one mistake. You work on a third down defense and you fix it. That's fine. They stopped the run the entire game. You can work on it. So my freak out level's at like a 3. If you lose to the Bears, then we'll have a different conversation next week. But right now, I'm not freaked out about it. Work on that third down defense, guys. Get off the field. Get off the field. You have to get off the field on third down. Let's see what else we got in here. Man, I'm not reading. So Jeremy says, until I see otherwise, I have concerns about Hutch, not the talent or the desire to come back from a severe injury. Like, it's hard having in the back of your mind, is my leg okay 100%? Should I be more careful? The mental part of the game is huge. Yeah, I didn't see that from Hutch. I mean, I saw them deploying Hutch in weird ways. I didn't see him not thinking that or on his way. I saw Hutch wanting to be Hutch. They double teamed him the entire game, but Hutchinson was doing weird stuff. I don't know. I can't. I don't know anything about that. I thought the defense would be deployed differently. I never thought I'd see Hutchinson dropping back into coverage. Man, hey, broski, you guys are being really arrogant right now. You know that? Like, this is hilarious. Like, if you would call us arrogant in here, and here I am. I'm on this show calling the fans arrogant, and here I am on this show humbling myself, allowing this to come through. And you're gonna call me arrogant? You're gonna call us childish? Wow. It's okay. It's okay. You can be that way. We were never that way. We didn't come back at that way there. We spewed facts at 15-2. And you guys didn't like that. And here I am. I'm on here. I humble myself on every single loss. I come in here like this, and you call us arrogant. It's a loss. That's the other thing, is it's one loss, guys. There's 16 more games left. There's 16 games left. And you guys are, half the Lion fans, I'm disappointed with you. You guys really ready to jump off of a cliff at this point? Really? Man, if you're willing to run away after one loss, man, I would never want to have you in like a gang fight. You know, I know you wouldn't have my back. I know you wouldn't have my back. Oh, he got punched in the face real hard. I'm going to run. I mean, come on. Man up. Put your chest out a little bit. It's one bad game. You started out the season bad. You got punched in the mouth. Wake up call. Use it to your advantage. Move on. Honestly, I mean, Bear fans need to have a little their arrogance checked. We'll have to see tonight. We'll see. We'll see. This is going to be interesting tonight. Minnesota versus the Bears. 2 division matchups in week 1. That's crazy. That's like exact opposite of what they did last year, isn't it? Last year, the Lions didn't. I don't even think we played a division game until like week 8 or something like that. There wasn't division games, but they did it a lot this year. Week 1, they threw the platter right out there. Get that division game out. You know, this loss, again, the Lions come out slow on offense, a lot like they did last year. You know, because it was like game 3 by the time their offense got. So does this lend to the argument from the people that say that you need to get reps during preseason? I hate this. This is like nails on the inside of my inner chalkboard. I hate subscribing to this because I like the idea of hard practicing and resting your starters, but it's like, here it is. 3 slow starts to the offense in a row. Does that lend to, you know, you got to make sure that you get some preseason reps? I mean, I might be jumping over on that side of the fence. I mean, I was like, absolutely not. You're just making excuses. No, but it's like, I can change my thoughts. You know, I mean, if you want to call us arrogant, that's fine. But when you win 15 games, you're pretty happy. So when I think you call me arrogant, I think that you're like, I don't care if your team was really good, you shouldn't be happy. And that's kind of, that just kind of makes you a prick. If that's your attitude and that's what you're calling arrogant. We're not arrogant. Lion fans have been mistreated more than any fan base in the history of mankind. And for us to be happy that we had a good team for 2 years is arrogance. I mean, you're like that. We're like that kid that you never got invited to the cool party. You invite him to the cool party, he has a really good time, and you're like, oh, look at him, that stupid dude trying to have a good time. It's like, well, you invited us to the party for a minute. So if we have to get into the middle of the season, yeah, I'll change my attitude. If all of a sudden our team isn't good enough to be invited to the party anymore. No, I think that calling us arrogant is kind of like the bully mentality. Like, screw you guys for having any fun ever. It's like, gosh, you don't think that we've suffered enough? Like it's our fault. You shouldn't have. Yeah, you stupid butthole trying to have faith in your team and stuff. Gosh, that's so arrogant. I can't believe it. Oh my God, they should have listened to me. I'm not negative. I'm realistic. They should have known that they were going to be bad because they've always been bad. They should have known better. They deserve this. How dare they think they could ever be good ever? Stop trying to think you're good when you're good. Everything that I said about them negative was true. They should have listened to me. Overreaction Monday is finally over. I've made it. I made it through all the shellackings. I took all of their best shots. Even the ones that came out of the woodworks like Steve. They used to come around here and they used to come around and talk tough. But when we were kicking their ass for 4 years, they go into witness protection. Nice to see you, Steve, again. Nice to see you come out of witness protection, John Dorn. Only after wins. I support my team 24/7. You can go do it in your shanties. Green Bay comes in week 1, puts a beat down on the Detroit Lions. We'll take it. We'll take it, and we're going to move on. It's faith, family, then football on here. I appreciate you guys jumping on here today and being part of our broadcast. This episode brought to you by Fanatics. That's right. That's right. If you're rocking with the 313 and you bleed Honolulu blue, then you need to gear up like the real one over at Fanatics, our official merch partner. I'm talking official Lions jerseys, blackout hoodies, throwback Tigers gear, WWE gear, Red Wings drip so icy it should come with a Zamboni. So here's what you do. You click this link in the description. Save up to 25% off of your order from our affiliate marketing partners at Fanatics. Every click supports the channel, the page, and lets the world know Detroit fans do it bigger and better. Villain Squad don't do knockoffs. We do official. We do Fanatics. Get yours. Oh, thank you for being part of the shellacking. For all the Lion fans that are in here, I want to thank everybody that was part of the show. Rick C. up in the house. You like that? Davey in the house, staying in there all the way to the end. LOL from Jody. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Steve. You like that? I do enjoy seeing you on here now. Adam. You like that? Mark Orlando. Broski Bear. You like that? Broski Bear is like the best Bear fan probably in the history of Bear fans. He's been here trolling since day one. Full respect to the real Warriors. Jeremy. You like that? Dan Norris. You like that? Big M in the house. Oh, gosh. You like that? I love all the new commenters. I want to make sure I get everybody on here. Bear Down Mike was in there. That was a ass kicking. Yes, it was. Bear Down Mike. You like that? Jody, Jason Olsen. Yes. Yes, Cole. You like that? Gosh, the trolls were out tonight. Oh, gosh. And John Dorn. Nice to see you come out. Gollum, I hope the sunlight feels good on your face. You like that? That's right. That's right. And you know what? If that's what we got to do to spark some engagement, you got to get them in here. I need some protection from all my Lion fans that are in here. But thank you to everybody that was contributing on to the show today. It's faith, family, then football in that order. It's important that we keep our priorities straight. And, you know, there's lots of people that do that a lot better than I do. But, you know, I at least want to be able to say this is you got to put your faith first, put your family, faith, family, and then football. That way, when you get punched in the mouth on a bad loss, then you realize what's really important. And that's your faith and your family. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for being part of today's program. My name is Russell Wayne. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again in Jesus' name. Amen. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace out.